limit of a sum, or we can say integration as a limit of a sum. Question is going to be something like 1 to 3 x plus 2 dx evaluate as a limit of a sum. This is the way the question will be. Now, to understand how to go about, I'll give you a little basic theory about what exactly we're talking about. Okay, this is I'm very briefly speaking. Okay, the limit is a to b. So, what is this length actually? It's b minus a. For example, if this is 1 and if this is 5, what is this distance? 4. 5 minus 1. Yeah. So this distance is b minus a. This is my curve, tandem curve. So this curve from A to B, I want to find out the area of this region using a technique called limit of a sum. So this will enable us to understand why by integrating, that is what we're getting is the area. Now what exactly we do is we divide this portion into rectangles. How many rectangles you know? We'll be making n rectangles, or the last one. And if this length is a, what is this length? F of a. Like, why we call it as f of x? No, x and f of x. Instead of x comma y, I can say x and f of x. No, same way, a and this point will be f of a. So considering.
So you don't have enough story.
Okay. Now, this small length of this rectangle, did you observe when I wrote in the formula h tends to 0? H is the width you are considering it, and the small length you consider as like a delta x. H. So this, what is the area of this rectangle? If I consider that as a rectangle, how can you consider as a rectangle? On the top it's a curve, no? But h is tending to 0, very small value, so that the if I consider, for example, just a small line like this, or this minute rectangle, even if the top is little not straight, it is still, we can consider, considering h is very small, the width is small, you can consider that as a rectangle. So I'm just ignoring that little bit of the top, and like that everywhere we'll be considering it as rectangle. Again, don't forget, we are taking it as a very small interval. So this is h. So I'm dividing the whole thing into how many parts? N parts. So each h is going to be b minus a by n. What do you mean by that? If this was 5 minus 1, it is 4, no? That 4 I'm dividing it into n equal parts. Okay, so 4 by n will be the h, the little. Suppose I'm dividing it into 20 parts. So 4 by 20 or 1 by 5, 0.2 will be each width. Okay, so this is needed for our final answer. Okay, that's why I'm just talking about it. B minus a is equal to nh. We are going to use it later. Now, this rectangle, what is the area of this first rectangle? If I say it is h into f of a, would you understand? The area of this rectangle is, this length is, breadth is h. You just look here, you'll understand. We only started just 23 seconds before it came. Okay. Now this is h, this is f of a, the height. So the rectangular area is what? H into f of a. What about the second rectangle? This is one more h I'm adding now. Okay. So this, the height will be what? F of a plus h, because this length is now what? A plus H. No, this H, no? This A, this A. So the breadth will be still H, the height will be f of A plus H. So my next area of the rectangle will be H into f of A plus H. So I have to add all these rectangles till where? What is the last one? This is the first one, second one, third one, last one is n. So this is n minus 1. So it will be f of A plus, like our AP formula, A plus n minus 1 into D, no? Same way. A plus n minus 1 into H is the height of the last rectangle. Okay, and the breadth will be still H. So last it will be plus H into f of A plus n minus 1 into H. Now I am combining them, considering this H as a minute value. We can write this as A to B f of x dx is equal to limit h tending to 0. If you go back to the concept of limits, why we were writing like this? H into, I'm taking the h common factor everywhere. What do I get in the bracket? F of A plus f of A plus h. Don't worry, when you do an example now, you'll understand how simple these things are, what I'm talking, okay? Plus etc. f of A plus n minus 1 into h. Now, this is the way you find, if you're watching a YouTube video or you go through the textbook one, you will find this is the way the expansion is. But I'm just, I cannot say innovating, maybe I'm modifying this idea as limit h tending to 0, h into, I started, instead of taking the first, this side as the height of the rectangle, if I take the second line as the height, then I'll be using the last line. So instead of f of A plus n minus 1h, I can use f of A plus nh, but the first one will be what actually? F of A plus h will be my first one. Starting from A and going till n minus 1, I'm starting from A plus h, then I'll end with nh. That will be an advantage for us when you are, because we are going to use this old formula sigma n square, sigma n cube into the situation. So you remember the formula? If you don't, also not wrong, but you should know as well. N into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. This is the square of this. Yeah, fine. Now this, to apply that, okay. Now when you are taking it as A plus h until n, this formula will be convenient for us. Otherwise, what we'll be doing it, in the place of n, you should be putting n minus 1 into n, this everywhere n minus 1, it's a little confusing. So to make it advantage for us, we are taking it, rearranging the formula as what? A to B, f of x dx is equal to limit h. Are you okay with that? I'm taking this side as the height, and the last but one I'm taking. Instead of taking the height as this side, I go till the other. We are talking about the same rectangles. Okay? It becomes now h into f of, you're going to remember this always. Starting from f of A plus h and ending with what? F of A plus nh. Now what we do is, theory part is over. This is what the area is about. So I'm going to add all of them. How to do an example. Okay, just I'm going to do it very fast, and you will check whether you get the point. Now, 2-3 things I mentioned it. One is A minus B is equal to NH I want. No, B minus A. B minus C is equal to NH will be needing it. And the other thing is a sigma n square, sigma n cube. Then the formula. Okay, here we go with the question. Okay, so 1 to 3 x plus 2 dx. We asked before, you're not writing. Just this. X square by 2 plus 2x with the limit 1 to 3. Always we keep the answer ready so that we are sure what you're doing is correct at the end. Okay. Now this is what? 9 by 2 plus 6 minus 1 by 2 plus 2. 9 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is 8 by 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Ultimately it is 8 square units. How nicely we are going to get this 8 using this technique, we'll see. Though it is longer, we have an easy method, then why are you doing, you might think. But in first principle also, We were deriving the derivative of tan x is equal to sec square x by deriving using this. Technically, we understood the derivative of sec square x. Same way, there is a reason behind why we understand this way. What is my A? It's 1. B is 3. What is my B minus A? 2. So, what is B minus A is actually equal to what? NH. We're keeping that. NH. Yeah? Now listen carefully. I'm trying to find out first f of A plus H. First one is f of A plus H. What is my A? 1. This is f of 1 plus H. What do you mean by my fx? What is the fx in my question? The function. The question. So what will be f of A plus H? A is what? 1. F of 1 plus H. In the place of x I should put 1 plus H plus 2. So that is my first 1 plus. That we will see if it becomes the same pattern in the coming term. We can add this 1 and 2 and write as 3 also. F of A plus 2H will be what? F of 1 plus 2H is equal to 1 plus 2H plus 2. I'm not sure whether you are following it. I'm replacing my x as now 1 plus 2H. What is my x? 1 plus 2H plus 2. Fine? Now, if you continue like this, you're not writing anything more. Maybe if the question has an x square, then it's better to write a third term also to get the pattern properly. Let expand in that x plus, it becomes 1 plus h whole square then. Then it's then another example and I'll go to the third term also. Now we can directly write the last one. F of 1 plus nh. Are you confused? A I'm changing as 1. Okay. Now, yeah, 1 plus nh in the place of x I'm putting 1 plus nh. 1 plus nh plus 2, same thing. 1 plus h plus 2, 1 plus 2h plus 3, 1 plus nh plus 2. Okay. And we are not substituting it now. For the final step, you are going to put it in the formula. Then you have to use sigma n square also. In this case, we will be using only sigma n because there is no power for this. If there is x square in the question, only we will be using sigma n square. Okay. Now look at this. I'm going to put in the formula now. What's the formula? A to B. Once again, what? Limit h tending to 0, h into f of a plus h plus etc. f of a plus nh. Please understand, this is not complicated, so simple things we are talking about. But it's a little long, that's all. It's a little long process, 6-mark question generally. Equal to limit h tending to 0. This h is already outside that width of the rectangle, no? That was there for every rectangle, so that h is kept outside, yeah? Now what is f of a plus h?
1 plus h plus 2.
Can I connect it as this 1 and 2 everywhere is there? Can we write it as h plus 3? This is 2h plus 3. This is nh plus 3. Fine? So, first term is h plus 3. Second term is 2h plus 3 plus etc. nh plus 3. Okay. And this is, now comes the, we are coming to the final step. Almost we are done. Limit h tending to 0, h into, how do I add this h and 2h and etc.? What is common in it?
H.
H. I think h outside. Yeah? 1 plus 2 plus etc. till n. How many 3's are there? 1, 2, 3 till n.
3n.
3n.
Plus
3n. This is the time we need to use the sigma n formula. Sigma n is what?
n into
N into n plus 1 by 2. You look clueless. H tends to 0. H into is h into sigma n plus 3n. If there was square involved in the question, there will be 1 square plus 2 square etc. That will be sigma n square. Okay. Now we are substituting the formula. Limit h tends to 0. I am connecting this h into, this is n into n plus 1 by 2. Had we used that a plus n minus 1, then we have to write the formula as n minus 1 into n by 2. To get an advantage only, I am doing this, plus 3n. Now we will come across our nh to substitute there, we are going to get the answer actually. Yeah? Listen, I am taking this h inside now. Limit h tending to 0, h square into n plus 1 by 2 plus 3nh. I'm taking this h inside totally. Okay. Now it became what? Now one more easy way to proceed I am showing you. We have two parts. One h you put with this n, and the other h you put with this. Look at what is the meaning of that. I'll write it again for you to copy it. Okay. Limit h tending to 0. What I'm doing, please notice this step carefully. nh into one h I gave to this n. The other h I am giving to the bracket. Like what? nh plus h. Go back and check. Take h common factor outside. That h is the same h. The h square, I put it inside the bracket. So one h is still outside only with nh. The other h is inside. By 2 plus nh. Now we are at the answer. Wherever there is nh, we substitute the value. What was that? 2. Wherever there is a h standing alone without nh, 3nh. Wherever there is h without the n, it becomes 0 because we apply the limit. Like in the limits questions, we used to cancel something, then we apply the limit. Okay, so this is the applying part now. Wherever there is nh, we can give the value. All other h will become 0 because we are applying the limit now. So what is nh? 2. Another nh? 2. This h? 0 by 2. 3 into 2. What was the answer we wanted? 4 by 2 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 was our answer. You didn't get it properly, but it's understandable. Yeah? So we will do another question and see now. That you may be able to write down also. Or you want to try a question? Yeah? Along with me you do it. So that